就这样的。
稍等我一下，王哥姐们，有点热，我去开个口。咱们家这个火。
A live streamer got hot while selling peaches on her farm, and so she went to turn on the AC. Wait a minute, AC in the field? What Chinese technology is this? She realized how she exposed her fake set and, well, started laughing. Chinese brand cars are of superior quality. Walls crack in half. Concrete foundation blocks are hollow on the inside. Meat slices even dogs won't eat.
羔羊肉卷啊！我想着给我黄哥分享一下啊！我操，没想到黄哥直接扭头就走了，兄弟们 ！OK 啊，兄弟们，这两种羊肉已经煮好了，这个是正儿八经的羊肉啊，这个是在超市买的这种现成的。可见这种狗它并不是不喜欢吃羊肉啊，兄弟们。
Chinese street vendors putting ice cubes in plastic bags to increase the weight and rip off customers. The receipt writes themselves. China fakes everything. I've been called a CIA grifter, anti-China opportunist, unfair takes, only the negatives of China. So today I set out on an adventure. I scoured the Chinese internet looking for truth. But after painstakingly spending a whole day researching, I found nothing. I've only found a bunch of things that, well, just Chinese people using fake things to fool other Chinese people, and those Chinese people are complaining about it. And along the way, I also found a lot of brainwashing, it seems. This dude appears to be acting in 3 roles. A top one, where he's a worker. In the middle one, he's now an audience member at an event. And in the bottom one, he's an expert. A worker installing doors and windows reported that during construction here, on the building's exterior, stone facade would cause it to crumble and flake off. And a slight tug would result in a large amount of stone blocks falling down. Egg quality check turns out it contained veterinarian drug residues 69 times over the limit. You're looking at a country who will put the Nobel Prize chemistry winners to shame. Lots of chemical stuff, huh? And this is a human flood chain. So I posted this shorts, and someone in my comment tells me that it actually is a way they used to prevent people from being washed away in a flood. Well, it's not, because there's better ways to prevent that. It's a pure propaganda shoot. You hear that in the background. They're telling people to look certain ways, being given directions. Look, they should be fighting flood, for real, but these soldiers are not. And the CCP claims brainwashing and anti-Japan propaganda isn't real in China. Well, this is a World War II reenactment event. An audience member got so into it, he got on stage and started attacking the actors who played the Japanese soldiers. And similar things happened in the past when Ultraman, which is a Japanese TV show, had a live stage play, and some brainwashed Chinese people got so into it, they went on stage and started to harass them and tell them to be nationalistic. Now, this event happened at a town resort. Yeah, so in China for vacation, you can take your kids to, instead of Disneyland, take them to a World War II reenactment land. And this resort features interactive performances where children can catch traitors of the past, as well as other Communist Party themed scenario dramas. Yep, beats a Jet 2 holiday any time of the year. Oh, by the way, they hate Japan so much that they had to copy Japan's Ichiran ramen. Without the I, of course, it became Ichiran, the fake brother-san, I guess. Flavor packed. On June 6th, 3 years after we first reported how people in China use their foot in these disgusting-looking pickle cabbage producing facilities, well, now we still have more. This video shows that in a pickle cabbage pickling pool, some workers were barefoot, others wearing sneakers. Well, you gotta get your yeast, your bacteria, and all of the wonderful microorganisms somehow, right? Because why not use some of that on your foot or in at the bottom of your sneakers? Oh, disgusting. Shuanghui, a Chinese pork producer in May, got into a scandal where the concentration of antibiotics in the pork was tested 37.5 times higher than the standard. Look, in China, you can't eat anything. Don't eat pork, don't eat duck, don't eat chicken, don't eat beef, or anything else. That's also why in supermarkets, you see a lot of people buying the imported stuff from Australia, from the US, and just, it's a little bit of a safety concern, you know? Not trying to be dramatic, but it's true. China fakes everything. And now they fake sewers. You wonder why so many floods happen in China, right? Well, one of them is, the reason is perhaps that the sewer pipes aren't even connected. They're just there for show. Workers maybe do this because they lack the funding to do it because a lot of it got pocketed. Or simply that the corruption is so bad, they just fake it until they make it.
管子哈，因为那它是一个低洼状态，它必须要有一个管子连接起来，但是没得。把水池的瓦流在流不出去，我做了一个。
Now, speaking of bad infrastructure, this was a bridge that collapsed back in 2024, and it took the lives of at least 60 plus people. It was recently determined by the government that the main cause was heavy rainfall, but the officials did say that there were multi-layers of corruption and tofu drag causing it. Now, this is obviously trying to downplay the human errors and the corruption in the tofu drag to pin most of the blames on the natural disasters as sort of the main culprit for this, but we all know that the main issue, there's been heavy rainfalls everywhere around the world. How come in China bridge collapse is such a common thing? Now, you would think that after so many years, this type of disastrous brainwashing would stop being effective, right? Well, in this case, you're actually correct.
而我们就是叫什么？我们中国的教育最失败的就是培养长着中国脸、端着中国碗、砸着中国端着中国饭、砸着中国碗的人啊！
老师，我是中华民国的。
Recently, a video circulated online from a political class at a university. While the teacher was lecturing, saying things like the biggest failure of Chinese education is cultivating people who have Chinese faces, eat Chinese rice, yet smash Chinese bowls. Hey, that's me. I'm that guy, Chinese face, who basically is anti-CCP. But jokes aside, the point is no sooner had the words left his mouth than a student in the back row of the classroom suddenly shouted in response, "I am from the Republic of China," aka Taiwan. This is crazy because the teacher immediately announced that this student will be denied the eligibility for a final exam and banned him from retaking the course. Subsequently, the student was also expelled from the classroom. Yeah, he really took one for the team, but honestly, good job. Because, you know, most of these political classes are pretty useless and they teach nothing but propaganda, especially in China. Because what you do take in these sort of classes is less about real discussion on politics, but it's more about instilling the nation's nationalistic and patriotic values, right? And so in China, a lot of the times it's just brainwashing. Thank you very much for watching this episode of me attempting to be nice to the CCP, but failing. And if you love this type of content, please let me know in the comments or suggest whatever you want to see next. Please subscribe to our channel too, because we have this type of video every single week. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.